Hey everyone, I am back with another DIY house series, and I believe the final video in this little series that I created for my channel. And as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made my own decorative signs to put throughout my house. So originally I came up with this idea because I feel like when you go shopping for any type of decorative signs, I feel like they can definitely be on the more expensive side. And when you're trying to fill up a whole house like I am, the price really adds up. So I came up with this idea to just make my own signs. I found a lot of various ideas on Pinterest, and I ended up just saving those and decided to buy my own frames and make my own signs with my Cricut machine. So yeah, I'm basically just gonna be showing you all how I do that, how I ended up putting all of the signs that I ended up making throughout my house. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and get started. So first things first, here are all of the frames that I ended up buying. I think one or two of them, of the smaller ones, I already had in storage in my house, but all of the other frames I ended up buying at Hobby Lobby. Some of these frames were a little bit more on the expensive side. I think the most expensive frame that I ended up buying was around like $50 or $60, but all of the other ones were cheaper. They were on sale, and that's why I decided to go to Hobby Lobby, because Hobby Lobby is always running sales on their picture frames and so many other things that they have in their store. So that's why I decided to go to Hobby Lobby. And then to actually go in the frames, I ended up picking up a few different of these like card stock poster boards. And then of course, the star of the show, the thing that is going to be making all of this happen, is my Cricut machine. Now don't get me wrong, I am not a Cricut expert whatsoever. I feel like, well, one, I don't really use it that often, so every time I go to use it, I always have to look up like YouTube tutorials on like how to do it and just kind of refresh my memory. But basically what I'm going to be doing is just using some vinyl to be making all of the lettering for my signs, which you will be seeing in just a minute. But first things first, for the first sign that we ended up making, I ended up just measuring out using the cardboard insert or the glass covering that comes with the picture frame. I ended up just like laying that on top of the cardstock, traced around it, and then ended up cutting out how big our sign is going to be. Once that is done, I just go on my Cricut software and then I just type in the saying or however I want my sign to look like, what I want it to say. I play around with the fonts. I didn't show too much of that in this video because I ended up kind of doing all of that for all of my signs prematurely, but once you start playing around with what you want your sign to look like and you get ready to make it, then all you need to do is obviously turn on your Cricut machine and then pull out the grid that comes with your Cricut machine. Now I have a smaller 12 by 12 grid, and then I also have this longer one, which I think is like 12 by 24, which I ended up using this for majority of my signs since a lot of the fonts and sayings that I used were on the bigger side. So once my Cricut is all on and set up, next thing you need to do is cut the size of the vinyl that you need, and then you just stick it right on that grid. The grids have like a stickiness to it, so it makes it really easy for you to just stick your vinyl, your paper, whatever you're using, right on there, and then it won't move while it's actually being cut. And then once you have your vinyl cut and placed on the grid, you just load it right into your Cricut, and then you hit start. Make sure your settings are all correct and then hit start, and then it does all of the work for you. I am just so fascinated with how Cricuts work. Even though I don't totally understand it myself and I'm like so confused every time I go to use my Cricut, it's just so cool to watch it do its thing. And then the Cricut software will just let you know once the Cricut is done making your design. Once you're done, you unload it from the Cricut and then you start taking away all of the excess vinyl that is not a part of your image. When you buy a Cricut, it comes with all of the different tools that you're most likely going to need. So it does come with like this little needle poker thing, whatever you want to call it, and it makes it really easy to just kind of pick up the vinyl and peel away what you don't need. Once you're done with that, to be able to transfer the vinyl from its own backing to the picture frames or wherever you're putting your vinyl, you need to be able to put a clear layer of some kind of sticky paper over top of it. Now, Cricut does have its own like Cricut brand clear sticky paper that you can buy, but a friend told me to just go to the dollar store and pick up some clear shelf coverings. It's going to be a lot cheaper and you get a lot bigger of a roll. So that's my tip for you if you want to save a little bit of money. It's going to do the exact same job. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just putting on that clear sticky paper over top of it using my little scraper tool from Cricut, making sure the vinyl is really sticking to that sticky paper, and then once we do that, it's ready to transfer it on to our picture frames. So first things first, after I have all of my wording printed out, I'm just quickly taking a little bit to kind of lay out how I want them to look, even pulling out my ruler and pencil to make sure that they're evenly spaced apart, since I'm someone that just isn't very good about making sure things are like even and look right. So that's what I'm doing right there. And then once I do that, you just peel the backing off of the vinyl piece and you stick it exactly where you want it to go. Once you have it placed on the picture frame or whichever object you're placing your vinyl piece on, I'm going to go back in with my scraper, make sure that the vinyl's really stuck on there, and then once you do that, you can start by pulling off of the clear sticky paper. And there you go. That's basically the process right then and there. Now I'm just going to be doing this a gazillion more times for all of the different signs that I decided to make. So I'm going to stop rambling for now, enjoy the video, and then I will come back when it's time to hang these. Now, one thing extra that I did want to add to one of my picture walls is I decided I wanted to get like actual canvases of me and Luke specifically, since this is our first house, we're newly married, and we love each other. Since we don't have any like children, pets, I really just kind of wanted to make a wall just for us, for our own little family, if that makes sense. So I ended up hearing about this company. It's called Mix Tiles. I ended up hearing about it on the radio actually, and I thought it was such a cute idea. So I decided to make a purchase, and they're actually pretty inexpensive when you think about it. I think I got 8 different canvases. I think the price was around $70-ish. It might have been a little bit more than that. I apologize, it's been a few months since I actually purchased them compared to when I'm editing this video for you guys. But yeah, I decided to make a purchase through Mix Tiles, and it's really easy to use their website. Basically, just go onto their website, pick however many canvases or pictures you want to upload to the site. Go ahead and upload pictures that you want. You can go ahead and pick what kind of frames that you want the canvases to be in. And after you do all that, that's basically it. Super easy to use, pretty inexpensive, very cute canvases, and I just can't wait to get more. And by the way, this video is not sponsored by Mix Tiles. It's just a new company that I recently heard about, and I was just really excited to share it with you guys. So let's go ahead and start hanging all of these pictures and canvases up. So hanging all these up, I definitely needed my husband's help because he's just a lot better at hanging pictures than I am. So this first wall here is the wall that I wanted to hang all of our canvases up with this sign that I ended up making that says, "This is everything I've ever wanted." So I wanted the sign that I made to be in the middle, and then I wanted the canvases to kind of surround it. And since this is a pretty big wall, this is why I wanted to put all of these things on this wall, and there's still room to be able to add more canvases in the future. After we hung the sign that I made up first, we went ahead and measured all around it, made markings with our pencil of where we wanted the canvases to go, just to make sure they all looked even. They were all evenly spaced apart from the sign that I ended up making and things like that. Oh, and something I also forgot to mention about the Mix Tiles is you actually don't even need to hang them up. You don't have to worry about buying your own command strips. You don't have to worry about putting nails and holes into your wall because they actually come with some sticky on the backing of it. So all you need to do is obviously pull the paper off of it and stick it right to your wall, and you're good to go. They do say that they are, adjustable. The sticky is pretty strong, so if you do need to kind of take it off the wall a couple times and readjust it, you can do that. I think we only needed to do that for one of the canvases. Otherwise, everything's been sticking really well. None of them have fallen off the wall. Like I said, it's been a few months since I filmed this, and no issues on that part, so I just quickly wanted to mention that. And yeah, again, I didn't want to make this video really long by showing you, the entire process for making every single picture frame that I made, as well as hanging up every single picture frame. So I apologize about that if you wanted to see all that, but I thought this video was going to be long enough, so that's why I tried to keep it on the shorter side as best I could. But here are all of the different signs that I ended up making for our house. I'm super excited about how everything turned out. I'm so excited I ended up doing this. Definitely making all of these picture frames, it was definitely a very stressful and frustrating process. I don't think I ended up showing a lot of the frustration that I had while making these. It just took me forever, and I feel like, I don't know if the vinyl that I ended up picking up was bad, but it was just giving me so many issues, and there were some signs that I had to like make over again a second time, and it definitely took forever. But now that everything's said and done, we have all of our signs hung up. I'm really happy with how everything turned out. And yeah, so that is it for my DIY signs, my last DIY video for our new house. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you have not seen all of my other videos dealing with our house, I do have an empty house tour up. I also have some other DIY videos of me designing my office, designing one of our main upstairs bathrooms, doing everything basically all by myself with some help from my husband. So if you haven't seen those videos yet, I will link those down in the description box. But yeah, I'm gonna get going for now, but I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone.